Rip Chester Bennington.
I like to dedicate this to all of the Creator's righteous children. I have some food in my bag for you. Not that edible food, that food you eat. No, I have some food for thought. Since knowledge is infinite, it has infinitely fell on me.
Hello YouTube, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be sort of a somber one. It's going to be kind of like my Chris Cornell video that I did a few months ago, and yeah. So if you don't know, which you should know by now, but if you don't, the lead singer of Linkin Park, the alternative metal, new metal, rap rock, alternative rock band, the lead singer, Chester Bennington, who was only 41 years old, passed away recently. And he passed away of a suicide, of hanging. Now, the really sad, really awful part about this whole situation for me is that I put out a video about Chris Cornell about a couple months ago, right? And he had passed away of a suicide. And then you have and of the same kind of way, of a hanging or whatever. But then you have Chester Bennington, who was only 41 years old, guys. 41 years old. So sad. But he was only 41 years old, and he died on Chris Cornell's birthday. His birthday. Like, if that's not sad, I don't know what is. Like, honestly. And you know what was the most sad was that Chester was hurting. He was hurting so bad when Chris Cornell died because they had such a good relationship together. And so it hurt him down to his core. And so I think that was part of it. But I also think his past and just like things that have happened to him in his life drew him to this final breaking point. And it is super sad that there are people out there in this world right now going through what Chester went through and what Chris went through and what other artists go through all the time and what people in general go through and are not getting proper help. That scares me and is so sad. Like, that is so heartbreaking. It is so heartbreaking. Like, it isn't fair that there are people sitting there in their rooms or sitting there, you know, they can have the happiest life on planet Earth. Like, you would think that people like Chris Cornell or people like Chester Bennington had like the happiest life on planet Earth, right? They just seemed like the happiest people ever. They had beautiful families, they were massive rock stars, they poured their heart out into their music and their lyrical content, and they were just amazingly happy and beautiful people who contributed to all these charities and were just amazing and helped so many different people out in the world cope through this life through their music. And to just leave us the way they did was so sad and so heartbreaking. But it happened, and sadly we have to deal with it, you know. But it's not fair that there are people out there in this world that deal with these demons that they're dealing with and they're not getting the help they need. People need to really check their people, you know. Like, I will tell you a story about something that happened to me, and not me personally, but somebody I know who is very, very close to me. Happened in my high school. So it was our junior year, and this person, we've known each other since we were 6, right? She's a very important person in my life, and I love and appreciate her. And in our junior year was the first time that we had ever had a class together. Like, I had never had a class with her since kindergarten. And so it was a big deal for us. We were really loving the fact we were in the same class together. It was dope. But then she was dating this guy, and he was kind of unstable. He had bipolar disorder, and so he's kind of unstable and dragging her down. And she already had bouts of anxiety and depression herself. And so when she was around him, she just got kind of dark, and more dark than normal. And so there was this day, and I didn't notice it like I should have, like a smart person would have. And I hate myself for that every single day that I think about it. But we were in class together, and she just seemed more upset, more sad, and more I don't know, her personality was just not, she's a very fun and bubbly kind of person. She's very outgoing. She makes jokes about everything. She's just crazy. And so to just have that, I didn't think about it. And then I saw her, and you know, she went through this kind of phase when we were in middle school and high school, early high school, where she went through this like goth phase, right? And so, you know, she went through that and whatever, and she was sort of trying to get out of it. Like, she was sort of out of that phase. But the day that this all happened, I saw her, and she was wearing her, like, gothy, like, dark, you know, black clothes. And it didn't really dawn on me at that point, because I was like, she always wears that stuff. But she's trying to transition out of wearing that, which was great. But it didn't really, you know, dawn on me. And then the next day, I hear how she tried to kill herself. And it broke my heart. And this was my best friend. My best friend. We had known each other since we were 6 years old. And I did not catch the signs of her hurt and her pain. And I did not understand what was bringing her down at that point. And I did not know that that was the direction she was going in. It didn't hit me. It just did not hit me. And I hate myself for that every single day, that I could have prevented that. Luckily, she survived, and she is still here to this day. We just got matching friend tattoos before she left our hometown, and you know, she just had a beautiful baby, and she just got married, and she's still here on this earth, and I am so happy to this day. But her ex-boyfriend ended up not living out that life, and he had bipolar disorder, and he was very depressed, and it made him in a way where, you know, it was hard for him to just like cope with life. And so one day it just got to him, and he just took his life. And it was super sad for everybody in my school, especially for my best friend, and it was hard for her to deal with it, and she's dealing with it every single day. She's basically, most of the hurt she's gotten over it, but she still deals with it every day, and that's something that is never going to go away from her. And you know, I've had other family members do the same thing, you know, and friends, and it's just crazy. It's a crazy situation. And, you know, for a lot of them, it was the medication they were on. It was sort of like a Chris Cornell, because what Vicky Cornell has said since his death is that he was taking some kind of prescription pills, and that's why it ended up leading him to do what he did. And, you know, for my family member and for my other friend that tried to do it, it was because of the medication that they were on, you know, but it was because they were bipolar. It was because of these things, and they couldn't control it, and so it would end up making them do crazy things. And you know, it's super sad. It's super sad. You know, Chris Cornell and Chester Bennington are two incredible talents that we did not need to lose. We just didn't need to lose. Like, it wasn't necessary. And to, you know, go more into Chester Bennington, you know, I started listening to Linkin Park when I was in, I want to say it was 8th grade. 14 years old in 8th grade, I started listening to Linkin Park. And prior to that, I'm not going to lie about this because I was younger and I didn't know any better, but Linkin Park's music used to scare me because Chester used to scream. But after a while, I got used to it, and in 8th grade, I started listening to Linkin Park like heavily. And then they became one of my favorite groups throughout the rest of high school and even up until this day. And I'll admit, I haven't listened to a Linkin Park, you know, album, you know, recently. Before, you know, he passed away, I hadn't really listened to Linkin Park like that in a while. But growing up, they were one of my favorite groups, like, ever. And so I used to listen to like everything they made. And like, I'm not just a Meteora or a Hybrid Theory fan. I mean, I love those two albums. Those are probably their best albums ever. But I also really love Minutes to Midnight, and I also really love, you know, The Catalyst, that song. I really like that song from yeah, that song. And I really like, you know, The Hunting Party had good songs on it. And, you know, I'm not gonna lie and act like I like their recent stuff, but I haven't really listened to it fully. And so I wasn't really going to judge them until I fully listened to their album and see what they were about. And I know that their current album, One More Light, got a lot of flack. And I'm not saying that as musically, you weren't allowed to give them flack. I'm not saying that at all. But I'm not going to say that we shouldn't have been supportive. As fans, we should support bands and artists no matter what type of direction they go in. You know, yeah, I get it. You know, I'm dealing with a band that I used to really look up to and like a lot, go through this, you know, same thing that Linkin Park is doing, and they have no regard towards their fans. But at the same time, I have to respect the fact that they want to make that type of music, and that's okay, you know? Anyways, I'm rambling right now, but I just really wanted to come on here and just say that I am a huge Linkin Park fan. My favorite song by them ever is Faint. That's like one of my favorite songs of all time by Linkin Park. And, you know, I love, you know, like I said, I love Hybrid Theory. I love Meteora. You know, I love Minutes to Midnight. That's a dope album. You know, I love almost all of their albums. And it's just a blow. It's a serious blow to the music world and just to, you know, everything. You know what I mean? Like, and for me, music means more to me than literally like a lot of things. And so, you know, it's just, I can't. Like, and the past few years for me have been really crappy when it comes to music because a lot of my favorite artists have passed away. Scott Weiland from Stone Temple Pilots, and Phife Dawg from A Tribe Called Quest, and Prince, and Chris Cornell, and now Chester Bennington, and it just keeps going on and on and on. You know, we lost George Michael, and, you know, just too many to count, you know? When in 2009, when Michael Jackson died, who Michael Jackson for me is up here. Like, everybody else is like scattered here, but Michael Jackson is all the way up here, right? And so for me, when Michael Jackson passed away, it was so hard for me. Like, it was so hard for me because Michael Jackson is my favorite artist literally of all time. Like, there's nobody who's ever gonna match him. Like, he's my literal favorite artist of all time. And so it hurt so bad when he passed away. And then when Whitney passed away, I was like, I can't do it. And then, you know, now we have Prince who passed, and you know, and then, you know, just like Scott Weiland, Chris Cornell, Chester Bennington, Phife Dawg. I can't do it. Prodigy. I can't do it anymore. Like, I'm gonna need this to stop. Like, I'm really gonna need this to stop. And like, you know, it's so hard to just wake up in the morning, go on your social media, and see that another beautiful artistic soul has passed away. That just means so much to you in the music world. Like, it's so sad. And the way that they're dying is crazy. And they're not even dying at like an appropriate age. Like, they're not old at all. They're like so young when they're dying now. And it's like so sad. Like, it's so sad. And like, I just want people to know that we're out here and we love you and we care about you, and it doesn't matter if I don't know you. It doesn't matter if you're just some random person on the internet. It doesn't matter if you're just some random person that I met one time. It doesn't matter if I don't know you at all. You can come to me. I will help you. I don't want to see another person dying because of this stuff. I don't want to see another person dying because of health related issues. I don't want to see another person dying because of anything. We don't deserve this, okay? The world can be a very scary place. But we are here. The beautiful lights out there in the world are here. And we want to protect and save the beauty that is this world. And we need you guys in it. We need you guys in it because you guys are beautiful people. And you deserve to live on this beautiful earth together with us. The beautiful lights. And so I am so sorry. I am so sorry if you're feeling these ways. I get depressed myself. It hurts. It's hard. I understand. I've never been to that level, and I'm thankful for that. And I'll never be able to fully understand how you're feeling. But I'm here for you. Just know that. And just know that it's just hard. It's just hard. And it's not fair. And I don't know how much more of this I can take. Honestly, I don't know how much more I can take. Like, I'm really done with all of this. Like, I can't do it anymore, and I need it to stop. And again, please, whoever out there in the world that needs help, get help. Don't let it consume you. Don't let it consume you. You are better than it. You are. Remember that. You are better than the demons in your head. You are better. And you are an important person who deserves to be here on this earth. Mother Earth loves you. Mother Earth loves you. And she wants you to be healthy and loving and beautiful and still here to live on this planet and to be around your family and your friends and the loved ones and the music and all of it. You deserve better. And I'm rambling again, but I just wanted to come on here, give my beautiful condolences to Chester's family, friends, Linkin Park, the fans, the music. I don't know what else to say, but I love you guys, and I hope you're doing okay. And if you need to talk, please do not hesitate to comment down below. I am here for you, and I love you, and I want you to know that I believe in you, and I know that tomorrow is going to be a brighter day. Until next time, my beautiful starseeds, indigos, and everybody in between, peace and blessing.